jazz friends all around the world, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. Due to a plethora of requests, I arranged Paul McCartney's My Valentine for you in chord melody style. So you can play it all on your own, or you can use the backing track that you can purchase from down below in the description box. There's also a link to the tab. I consider my arrangement of My Valentine an intermediate arrangement, so it should be doable. All right, now grab your guitars and let's get started. And happy Valentine's Day! First off, this is my transcription of the original live version with orchestra, featuring Diana Krall on piano and Joe Walsh of the Eagles on acoustic guitar. He also performs a guitar solo, which I also transcribed, and I gave it a chord melody touch so it fits the arrangement. What else to say? We have a verse that is 8 bars long, and it's a C minor blues actually, and interestingly enough, it changes to C major in the bridge. Okay, here we go. So here's the song intro. The song is in C minor. We start with a C minor chord. 3, 5, 5, 3, just the inner 4 strings. You count to 3, 1, 2, and on 3 we go over to a D minor 7, or F triad. 7, 5, 6. And then there is Joe Walsh having a little filler line in there, and I also incorporated it into my arrangement. So here it is. That's just simple pentatonic. Slide into the 5th of D, 8, 5 of G, 8 of G, and 5th. That's C minor pentatonic. All right, first bar. Right, second bar, the C minor again, D minor 7 again, and now it's a different filler line. We have a hammer on from the 3rd to the 5th, that's a quick one, then the 3rd, then a slide from 6 to 5, very quick one, or just the 5th of D, then the 1st, and then we repeat the first bar again. C minor, D minor, and now it's the 4th bar, the last bar of the intro, C minor again. 1, 2, and now we go up to that high C minor, all the way up to the B string. That's 8, 10, 10, 8, 8. 1. That's count number 3, and now we have the pickup for the verse, and that's 8 of B, 11 G, 8 of B. You can leave your fingers on actually, and do the rest with the pinky on the 11th of the G, and back to the B string. All right, and here's the entire intro at slow tempo for you, or it is slow already, so at regular tempo. 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. All right, and here's verse number 1. We actually do have 4 of them, but they are all identical except for the last 2 bars always. So 6 bars are always identical, and then the last 2 are different. So here's verse number 1. Remember, the intro had the pickup already. Oops. And now we remain on that C minor. You put that finger back and play the C minor chord all the way through the high E string. Strum slowly with jazz ballads. Don't go like this, but really arpeggiate it like a harp. There is actually a harp on the original orchestra version. Now I fill the rests up in between, and I do that for a chord melody style. If you want to play alone, if you play along with the backing track, you don't really need to do that, so you can omit that and just play the melody. So the filler is bass again, A string again, and then the middle 2 strings again. So D and G strings, right? And now it's another pickup. I strum all the way through the B string, then 11th of the G string, and back to the B string. Oops. I'm having a bad angle here to play, but I want you to see things good. All right, so next one is E flat major 7, all the way through. That's 6, 8, 7, 8, and 6. And here's the filler again. Bass, D, and G and B all together. All right, everything up until here. Then the entire chord up until the B string. Then I lift my fingers off and I go to the 7th and back to the 8th. All right, then it's the F chord. 8, 10, 10, 10. Then the B string twice again. And another time, so 3 times again. And now it changes to F minor. That's the 4th degree of the scale of the minor blues. Changing from major to minor. That's 8, 10, 10, 9 now. Just the inner 4 strings. Then play the B string again. 11th with your pinky. And lift it off. And the 9th again. So from F major. So, yeah, that's correct. And back to C minor up until the B string. Filler again, bass, A string, middle 2 strings. And then the whole thing to the B string. Then the high E string and the B string. Okay, everything up until here. Now it's for D7, and that's actually the 2 chord as a dominant. And on C minor blues, D half diminished would be the 2, but Paul McCartney chose a dominant chord because that one resolves to the G7 afterwards, and that one resolves back to the C minor. Clever. So D7, 5, 7, 5, 7 up until the B string. Filler again, that's the A string, D string, G string, and then I change my chord. So my voicing actually, I take this D, 7 of D, G and B, then I add middle or ring finger, the 8 of E, that makes for a D7 chord also, just a different voicing. And I go back to the B string, right? Now it's the G7, just a regular standard cowboy chord. 3, 5, 3, 4, and 6 up till the B string. Here's the melody. Filler again, bass, A, D and G strings. And now I change to a G7 sharp 5. That's an altered chord. That's 3 of D, 4 and 4 of G strings. And then the high E string on the 3rd afterwards. Here's a better angle for you. And back to the B string. And now it's for C minor, but first of all I just played a power chord. 3, 5, 5 because this is the melody. And now there's a little Joe Walsh soloing going on. I tried to incorporate it. So then you add your middle finger and strum all the way through the C minor chord to the high E string. Repeat the E string twice and go over to the D minor 7 or F, D minor 7 over F, or just a F. Simple plain F, try it. 7, 5, 6. So. And here is that little. That's the 4th. Then the 5th of the G. And slide to the 6th of the B. Then the 4th. And the 5th of the G. Actually, this one was the entire solo, but for the second verse I had to cut the solo, sorry. So this is the entire solo fill that Joe plays. And now quickly because it's a little time from the solo to the pickup, the C minor again to the 8, to the B string 8 fret. 11 of G and back to B. That's the pickup we always have da, 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 to the verse. All right, so here's the entire first verse at slow or regular slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's verse 2, and it's actually identical to verse 1 for the first 6 bars, and the last 2 bars are different only, and that's when Joe Walsh plays a different filler solo kind of thing. All right, we have the same power chord in bar 7 than we had in the first. That's C minor, that's C5, 3, 5, 5, C power chord. And now he plays a little pentatonic lick. Move to slide to the 5th of the D, 3, 5. Then hammer from the 3rd to the 5th very quickly. 4 of B, pull off, and 5th of G. That's it actually. 3, 4, 1. Let it ring. Actually, now there's still something going on in the original. There is, but that kind of makes it too busy to go back to the pickup for the bridge, which follows, and I'm gonna show you in a second. So I just canceled that little lick at the end, okay? Because it's too busy. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, and now we have that pickup to the bridge, and he changes to a C7, 8 regular cowboy chord, 8, 10, 8, and 9, just up until the B string. That's the melody. Strum through it, then add your pinky to the 10th of the G, and then press that B string because that's the 8th fret here. Here's the melody. All right, and here's the those two bars at slow tempo. 3, 4. 2, 3. So here's the bridge, and the bridge is in C major, but actually it starts on the 4th degree of the scale, and that's an F major chord. Coming from our previous pickup, all you have to do is move your ring finger down and play the inner 4 strings. That's 8, 10, 9, 8 by barring. That's an F major 9 chord, or something like that. Actually, it's a sus chord. But now we add the 10th to the B, and then it's an F major chord. Then I fill it up, bass on the A string and the D and G strings. So. And now it's to the C chord. We're actually still in the bar of F, but he already changes. I already moved my fingers down to the C chord. 8, 10, 10, 8, 8, 8. I think you know that one. I play the melody. That's the the D string, then the G string. And now I fill it up by playing one string after another. E, A, D, and G. So everything up until here. Make sure that the filler is quieter than the melody. So this is the melody. And this is the filler. All right. Then I arranged some sixths for the melody. 5 of D and of B, I bar this, but I just play those 2 strings. Then the 7th and the 6th, and then the 9th and the 8th. Now it's back for our F major 9 chord. Oops, inner 4 strings only. 10th of B again. Lift it off again, play all the inner 4 strings with the F major 9 chord. Then the 8th fret of the B alone, and then all strings again. So what we get in this bar is... One more time. Oops, sorry. Move down to C, play the melody again. That's a D and a G string, and the filler again. E, A, D, G strings. And now it's 6th again, but this time different ones. My middle finger is already here, 9th of G string, and I add the 8th of the E string. Then 7 of G and E, and 8 of B and D. Right? And then we are at the F major 9 again, inner 4 strings. Add your pinky again. Then the filler is A string and D and G strings, right? Some more 6ths. 10, 10, these two alone. 9, 8, D and B strings all the time. Then 5 and 5 of D and B strings, but a bar already over that fret. Just playing these two, because now I add these 2 fingers and I get a D minor 7, which I play the inner 4 strings now. That's 5, 7, 5, 6. Alright? Filler, A string, D string, then G and B strings. Now 8th fret of the E string, and I play strum all the way through. Then 7th of the E string alone, while the rest still keeps on ringing, and move your pinky to the 8th of the B string, right? Right. Then, or let's continue, because there's so many F major 9 we would get confused to where we are. Back to F major 9. Add your pinky again to the 10th of the B, filler, A string, D and G strings, and those last 6ths here are 10 and 10, those 2. Then I'll move up to the 12th, D and B string, 12, and G and E string now, 8 and 9, 8, 9. And the last chord is a G9. That's 10, here's the root, then 9, 8, 8, 8, bar all the way through and strum. And then there's the pickup again. You can already go to the C minor, or just play it alone, 8B, 11G, and 8B. But you have to go back to the verse and fret your C minor anyway, so you can already do that in advance. As you like, or just... and then. Alright, here is the entire bridge at slow or regular slow tempo. 3, 4. And here is the third verse. The first 6 bars are identical to verse 1 or 2 if you want so. And now he goes to the solo. So I'm going to show you this these last 2 bars. C5 chord, C power chord is always the beginning of the 7th bar. 3, 5, 5. You count to 3. 1, 2, and you move to our F triad or D minor 7, 7, 5, 6, and then it changes to the C major chord with the E in bass. That's the 7th of A, 5, 5, 5, inner 4 strings. And now we have the pickup for the solo already. So I'm gonna include this here because it's that last bar. That's 5 of G, 4 and 5. And here are those 2 bars that lead us to the solo at slow tempo. Verse number 3, last 2 bars. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And here's Joe Walsh's solo played chord melody style. It is played over the bridge, so it uses the same chords, F, C, and then goes to D minor. All right, we already had the pickup bar, 5, 4, 5, and now it's for the first actual chord, and that's the F major 7. 3, 5, 5, 5 of that upper 4 strings. Then I fill it up, bass on a D string, and then D and G strings. Then that motif repeats several times. So we have 5, 4, 5 again, going to a C major chord now. That's 3, 5, 4, 5, 3 all the way up. Fill it, make a filler, bass, and then the D and G strings. And that motif again, 5 of G, 4, 5. And F major again, but this time I don't use this one, but this F major 7 that we had before. 8, 10, 9, 10, inner 4 strings. Then F major 9, this time a real one. That's 8, 7, 9, 8. You could cheat though, you could just lift your finger down, off. But I take the full chord. Then F triad. That's 8, 7, 5, and 6. Inner 4 strings only, so you don't actually need to bar it. So, block chords. I wanted to create some block chords here. That means on each melody tone there is a chord. Then I lift this middle finger off and get that 5th of the B string. And now I play just the solo line. That's a G string, 7, 5, slide 7 to 9, 8 of B, and back to 9 of G. So. Then 6th again, 8 and 9 of the G and E string, 7 and 7 of G and E string, I don't play that B string, then the 8 of the B string alone, and then it's the F major 7 chord again, 8, 10, 9, 10, fill it, the A string, and D and G strings. And then we have 6th again. These guys here, 10, 10. Then I move down to 9, 8. D and G strings, D and B strings, sorry, we are. Then 5 and 5, but I bar it again because I add these fingers and I have a D minor 7. We had that before in the actual bridge. So 5, 7, 5, 6 inner 4 strings. Then I fill with the A and the D and G strings, right? So, and now it's a single note solo again. That's 7 of G, 5 of B, 6 and 5, but I pull it off. Then G string again, 7, 5. And then I move up here and I get 8, 7, 7. That's a C minor, that's a D minor chord actually, or an F triad. First I just play the A and D strings. That's the 8th fret and the 7th of A and D. And then I bar over to the G string and play that 7th fret alone. And actually slide into it. And the last triplet. 7A, 4 and 5 of G and B, of G. 4 and 5 of G. And then it's the last chord is G7, regular cowboy chord. You could also play it like this. 3rd of E, 3rd of D, 4th of G, and 3rd of B. And then it's for the pickup that leads us back to verse 4, the last verse. Or you go, doesn't matter. Alright, here's the entire solo. I'm gonna play from the first pickup that we already had in the previous one, but it makes more sense. So from the first pickup. 1, 2, 3. And here is the last verse, verse number 4, going to the ending. All right, again, the first 6 bars are identical to all the verses before, but the last 2 plus an outro now, because the last 2 bars are kind of being repeated between that C minor and the D minor 7 or F triad thing. Okay, bar 7 starts with the C power chord again. We know that already, 3, 5, 5. 1, 2, and on the end we have solo line, pentatonic, C minor pentatonic. Joe Walsh starts on the 11th fret of the E string, 8, then a pull off from 11 to 8. So then B string, 11, 8, then a pull off, 11 to 8. It's a sequence actually. Then 10, 8 of G. And then the funny thing is, actually not for Joe Walsh, because he made a boo-boo there. He wanted to continue that line, but he kind of, I don't know, he didn't press hard enough, but it kind of, he tore off the notes. So I don't exactly know what he wanted to play. I guess he wanted to continue that line. But he was a little excited, can happen to everyone. So I'm going for a C minor chord here, because I don't know what he wanted to continue with. So 10, A, 10, D, and 8 of the G. Let it ring and add these 2 and pick all 3 strings. Right. 2, then to the D minor 7 or F, 7, 5, 6 again. And now another line starts. Again pentatonic, 8 of the B, 11, 8, 11, hammer and pull off. That's like Layla. Then going to the 11th of the 11th of the B string. And the last, I put a chord on. That's 8, 8, 8, C minor chord. All right. 1, 2. On count number 3, we're back to that F chord. And the last line, he gets slower. It's arritando. Oops. That's 6. Then 6 to 4 pull off on a B string. 5 of G, 3, and then C is the last chord. Note, I put a chord around it, an inversion. 6 of A, 5 and 5 of D and G. That's a C minor. Here would be the root. C minor inversion. Try it. All right, so here's the last bar is the outro, actually from the coda of verse 4. 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Thanks folks for stopping by. I hope you liked my rendition of Paul McCartney's My Valentine. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell notification if you never want to miss out on a new video. I see you next week. Ciao, ciao, servus, baba.